Thank you for joining us for THP 11 News at noon on this rainy Memorial Day. I'm Hayden Balgavy in for Journey Taylor. If you're planning on getting grilling this afternoon, well, you're probably going to want to think twice about it because we're hoping for a little break in the rain. For that, we need to check in with THP 11 meteorologist Nathan Scott. So Nathan, we were talking a little bit before we started this afternoon. Rain, though, maybe moving out slowly but surely.
Well, Hayden, you can see the back edge of the rain now starting to approach the Little Rock Metro at this time. So the steady rain is about to come to an end. The rain will continue to fall to the east over the next probably 2 hours or so. But here's the high resolution radar, and there's the back edge. Alexander, East End, into Little Rock, downtown Little Rock. It's still raining right now, but that will be winding down probably in the next 15 minutes or so. Now, there's probably still some drizzle and mist, even where you don't see the green showing up in Saline County. But by far, the heaviest rain is making its way through Drew County, DeShay County, Arkansas County, with even some bolts of lightning showing up down to southeast Arkansas. The rain is still going to be a possibility because you see more showers developing Scott County, Yell County, and that's going to pivot its way into central Arkansas. So here's future radar. It does show that steady rain moves out, but we will still contend with scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder through the afternoon hours. Temperatures. It is kind of cool for this time of year. This could be one of the coolest Memorial Days that we have seen for quite some time, as the temperatures really won't budge much at all. That deck of clouds is not going anywhere, so most likely temperatures will be stuck into the 60s. At 72 may be a stretch. I've got some drier conditions to talk about and also more sunshine in my 7-day forecast coming up.
Nathan, thank you. A convicted murderer and rapist, also former police chief in Arkansas, is still on the run this afternoon after escaping from a state prison yesterday. Here are the details. 56-year-old Grant Harden escaped from the North Central Unit in Calico Rock around 3:30 Sunday afternoon. Harden is serving 80 years for murder and rape. A photo shows him walking away from the facility. Harden disguised himself to pull off the escape, wearing a makeshift uniform made to look like a prison guard or law enforcement. The Department of Corrections confirms it was not official gear. Now a massive manhunt is underway. Local, state, and federal agents are searching for him.
My worry is that he will take someone hostage with their vehicle, and if he breaks into a house, he could easily acquire a weapon, and God knows what could happen after that.
That is the sheriff in a neighboring Stone County, where roads from Izard County are now blocked off and checkpoints are in place. He is warning people in this part of the state to remain vigilant.
Be ready to defend and protect yourself at all costs. I mean, this guy is loose. He is somewhere, and you know he is desperate. And desperate people, especially with previous murder charges, he's going to be extremely dangerous.
Harden has strong ties to Benton County and Pea Ridge law enforcement. Right there, they are on the rise. Now, he served as police chief in Gateway, a small town between Bentonville and Eureka Springs near the Missouri border. He pleaded guilty to first-degree murder in 2017, and while in prison, DNA linked him to the 1997 rape of a Rogers Elementary School teacher. Again, Grant Harden is considered extremely dangerous. If you see him, call 911 immediately. Today, we are also working to learn more about a weekend shooting in Holly Grove that killed one and left several others injured. Details are limited, but here is what we know and can tell you right now. Arkansas State Police confirming that Shanotica Parks, who is the age of 24, was killed when shooting started yesterday near Hurdstone and Smith Streets during a Holly Grove Day celebration. Now, a 49-year-old Stuttgart man and a 19-year-old woman from England were also shot and taken to the hospital in Little Rock and Stuttgart as well with non-life-threatening injuries. Officers from Holly Grove, Monroe County, and state police responding to the incident. THP 11's Rebecca Brown is in Holly Grove right now, and we'll have more details at 5 and 6. We also have an update on a shooting last Thursday in North Little Rock where a cop shot a suspect. The department tells us that suspect, 27-year-old Jacob Goff Stanek, was also involved in a separate shooting that same day. It happened a few hours earlier in Little Rock on Lovett Drive, less than a mile south of where Baseline Road meets Sunset Lane. He is now charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm, first-degree battery, attempted capital murder, fleeing, and drug possession. New this morning, a woman who killed a pregnant Arkansan and tried to take her unborn baby is now due for a mental exam. Amber Waterman is convicted of killing Ashley Bush in 2022. She's serving a life sentence in federal prison and is also facing trial here in Arkansas. A judge just ordered her to take a mental fitness test after her lawyer cited a brain lesion causing seizures and trouble communicating. A state forensic psychiatrist will conduct the evaluation. The court is also reviewing a separate motion claiming investigators violated her civil rights. Her next hearing is set for July 7th in Benton County. Also this morning in national news, officials in South Carolina are investigating a shooting that sent 11 people to the hospital. This happened in the town of Little River, just minutes north of Myrtle Beach. Now at this hour, it is not clear if all of the victims were shot or if some were hurt as they ran from the scene. No word yet on a possible suspect or if there were multiple shooters. On this Memorial Day afternoon, President Donald Trump is calling Russian President Vladimir Putin, quote, crazy after a weekend of attacks on Ukraine. It comes a week after the two leaders had a 2-hour phone call to discuss a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine. Natalie Brand has the very latest from the White House.
President Trump marked Memorial Day by honoring U.S. service members killed in conflict amid an escalation in Russia's war with Ukraine. Ukrainian officials say over the last 48 hours, Russia launched its biggest drone attack since the start of the war. An assault this weekend killed more than a dozen people. Officials say more than 350 drones hit 30 cities, sending civilians running for shelter. This mom says she grabbed her child and covered it in a blanket for protection.
I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people.
President Trump told reporters he's considering sanctions against Russia and on social media said Putin has gone absolutely crazy. The president added, I've always said that he wants all of Ukraine, not just a piece of it. But if he does, it will lead to the downfall of Russia.
President Trump's sharp tone towards Putin comes a week after they spoke by phone, and he said Russia and Ukraine would immediately begin ceasefire negotiations.
We're in the middle of talking, and he's shooting rockets into Kiev and other cities. I don't like it at all.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in a statement said Russia's disregard for diplomacy and refusal even to consider a ceasefire must be met with a freeze on Russian finances and a halt to its oil trade. Earlier, Zelensky had also accused the U.S. of not doing enough to respond, saying silence of America, silence of others around the world only encourages Putin. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Meanwhile, closer to home, Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders marked Memorial Day by laying a wreath at Camp Robinson to honor Arkansas's fallen heroes and their families. The governor also shared remarks celebrating the contributions of all active service members and their families. Well, today another Memorial Day tribute continues in Hot Springs. A 360-foot replica of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall names more than 58,000 Americans who died in the Vietnam War. The wall is on display right now at Memorial Field Airport. It also includes the Cost of Freedom exhibit, honoring Americans lost in every major conflict since World War I. It's open to the public all day, and today is the last chance to see it. We will also honor those lost in service, so be sure to join us for our 30-minute Saluting Heroes special this evening. We're revisiting some of our most moving stories from our 6:30 Central series, highlighting people and groups supporting veterans and their families here in Arkansas. That's tonight at 6:30 right here on THV 11 and THV 11 Plus. Well, this afternoon, millions of Americans are returning from Memorial Day weekend destinations. There have been travel issues over the weekend for reasons including the nasty weather that we know here and odd behavior as well. Meg Oliver is at the troubled Newark Liberty Airport.
A scary moment thousands of feet up in the skies. Video captioned this passenger being zip-tied and restrained by flight crews and other passengers at an all-Nippon Airways plane over the weekend after he allegedly tried to open the emergency exit doors mid-flight.
Once I take you out of the seat, we're going to escort you off the flight, okay?
This video shows him being escorted off the plane in Washington by police, who say he was having a medical crisis. He was later taken to a hospital for evaluation. This played out during the height of the Memorial Day travel rush, which has been a record breaker. The TSA reported Friday was its third busiest day ever at airport checkpoints, screening more than 3 million people in a day. Overall, the agency expects 18 million will pass through its checkpoints through Wednesday. In Newark, Anthony Esposito was caught in the rush trying to make his flight to Europe.
Coming in through the terminal, of course, as well as some traffic. And as you can see, a lot of the kiosks are pretty booked up right now, so it's taking a little bit of time to get through the terminals, but we're making our way.
AAA projected 39.4 million to hit the roads, up 3% from 2024, with gas prices about 40 cents cheaper than last year.
So the fact that car travel is so popular and that we're projecting a new record for it, that does indicate to us that perhaps over the summer we're going to see the same thing.
This weekend was a big test for the TSA with recent Real ID requirements, but 93% of people are coming prepared with the proper documents. If you're hitting the road to go home, AAA says to do that before 2 p.m. Meg Oliver, CBS News, Newark, New Jersey.